Hey, thanks for joining me. We're delving deeper into lesson number 36. With the final purge, the army that the dragon mustered after its imprisonment is destroyed. So we got to ask ourselves, who's left? John writes, the nations will walk in its light, and the earth's kings bring in their splendor. Further, John writes that these nations and earth's kings are neither dirty nor defiled. So who are they? Well, I would like to advocate for the answer that these nations represent the redeemed people from all ethnic groups and nations. These are the individuals who have accepted God's salvation and are now a part of his kingdom. The language nations and kings is exactly what we read in 1 Peter 2:9. God makes believers a holy nation, makes them royalty, makes them priests. That these nations and kings are free to enter New Jerusalem emphasizes that salvation is available to all, for God transforms those who desire to align to his will. Now, the nations walking in the light and the kings bringing in their splendor to the city they're purified. They are the redeemed humanity. Now, what this speaks to is God's inclusivity of God's redeeming purposes for all of humanity. Now, there's a teaching in the church that God selects those who are going to be saved and those who are going to be damned. And you know what? That teaching just cannot be correct. God's love is for the entire world, for everyone. We read whosoever, and we read of anyone may enter the kingdom of God when they bend their knee to the lordship of Jesus Christ and stay faithful, thriving spiritually, even in the end times. God predestined humanity to thrive in a right relationship with him. And Revelation gives us a glimpse of that destiny. Now, there are two classic ways of handling God's foreknowledge. John Calvin taught that God's foreknowledge is inherently linked to his sovereign will. I mean, God's foreknowledge and predestination are intertwined. He foreknows because he has decreed everything that will happen. And thus we say God is in control. Now, John Wesley taught that God's foreknowledge means that he knows what free choices individuals will make, but he does not predetermine those choices. Free will is preserved, and God's foreknowledge does not necessitate predestination. And my thoughts on that subject is that God is in charge, not in control. God is in charge. Now, God knows all possible outcomes and the free choices individuals would make in any given circumstance. But based on that knowledge, God orchestrates the world in a way that aligns with his divine plan while respecting human freedom. Now, I am sure glad that we get to think and let think no matter how wrong someone's opinion might be, including my own. All that said to say this, the gospel is a message for every human being, and every human being makes their choice to align with God's revelation or to live by their egoism. Therefore, the nations and the kings of the earth refers to all the people of the many cultures and languages and ethnicities entering into the salvation of God. God is inclusive.